Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Talk Spicy to Me. Today is an awesome episode because we are chatting with the one and only Alley Ciz. So let me tell you about my best friend. Hi. If you stop laughing, say hi.
Hi. I'm sorry.
So we have a couple of questions. Yes. We have a couple of questions to ask, and then we're really just going to talk to you about your books that you think are the spiciest, because that's kind of our thing. And then, just life in general. Now, I will warn everybody that the four of us together, we are a hot mess express, and we will make you laugh until you pee yourself. So make sure you are close to the bathroom. Okay.
Or do your kegels.
Or do your kegels. Yes. They have things for that now. They're okay, we won't go there, but I'll tell you, they're fun. So tell us about yourself and your books.
I hate when people do that. I'm not good at this.
Well, I can tell you that my favorite book of yours.
Me? Obviously you've met me. You've known me. You know me in the real world.
I know you in the real world. Allie and I went to
Do you know why I hate blurbs? Because I cannot tell you about my... Oh, my God.
Backstory. Allie and I went to high school together. Got all those good, yearbook photos. But the only thing is they will stay forever hidden because in the same respect, on the opposite side of that coin, she also has those yearbook photos of me. So, needless to say, we have known each other for many, many moons.
Yeah,
and
we used to have to pedal... with our feet like the Flintstones. That's how
yes.
We old.
Yes. We are very old. We are out there. But hey, exactly like I said earlier, old enough for the dad, young enough for the son. Hit me up. Kidding, I'm married. Don't do that. So, okay. Well, then how about this? We already went over how you met me. How did you meet Bree and Jazz?
Through the book world. So Jasmine, I met through a group chat through LJ Shed. Yeah, through LJ Shed's reader group. I can't tell you how I met Brianna. I just don't remember. She just always has been in my life. She's been on my street team since before Power Play. So she's just been there, and I couldn't tell you where I met her. She's just there, and now we're in that long distance relationship, just sitting there on video chat while she reads a book and I watch Olympic hockey, and then we're just a whole new level of friendship now.
just couple goals right there, and I honestly don't remember either. I think I just slid into your DMs and it went from there.
Yeah,
well, I slid into your DMs. That's how I know I met you, because I don't remember what post it was, but I definitely slid into your DMs.
Me and Bree, did it start off when we did the whole gift exchange in Allie's group, or were we because it's to the point where I don't even remember how I met you.
Well, we all used the same books though, so it was probably really easy, and it also could have just been from talking about books in my reader group and stuff that it just kind of. But I honestly, I literally can't remember how I met Brianna, because she's been with me from the beginning, since before anybody knew who the hell I was. I mean, nobody really knows who the hell I am now, but that's a totally unrelated topic, but
I'm gonna Blake Shelton the fuck out of this right now, because hello.
This is not about you, Heather. This is about me.
It's about Allie and Bree.
You know me with my totally unoriginal pen name, so it's totally you not to say that you don't count, but you don't count in that.
Don't count. It's so funny when people are like, "Oh, do you know Alley Ciz?" And for the longest time, I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" Because that is not her name.
Well, because you know me by both my actual last name and my maiden name, so.
People would say that, "Oh, do you know her? She's a great author," and I'm like, "Wait. Hold on, because I know her, but in real life know her. And let me not spoil what her name is for you, because I don't know what the
but that's the thing. I still call people that we went to high school, middle school with, that have been married for longer than me and Mark have been, and I still when I talk about them, I still use their name, their maiden names, their names from high school, because that's just what they'll forever be that to me.
That's so people who ask me about you from high school, or the tattoo artist, I like always name drop your maiden name. They're like, yes.
Oh, by the way, when you have to I never message. So you just, when you go, because I need my pixie dust for my coven tattoo.
Got it. I got you.
Totally not what this is supposed to be. Again, real life friends.
We're doing tattoos. We're doing books. We're doing all of it.
Disclaimer: it's like squirrel brain. Like.
My banner, but it's upstairs. Makes it with the kids' toys because it says "Beware of squirrels."
All right. So, do you have a favorite character that you've written so far?
It changes on the daily, and it depends on like what book that I'm writing, like who it is. So, and it depends on if it's like side character, main character. I love them all. A lot of them piss me off when I'm writing them, and then it shouldn't surprise you very much. But a lot of the side characters, they try and steal the show, and I'm like, listen, bitch, no, this is not how the scene was supposed to go.
This is not
Slow
your
your
game.
roll, like a Tessa Taylor. She don't listen for shit. And when I'm in BTU, Tucker's always trying to like come in, and then Lyle is like my favorite human ever, even though he's not a human. He's just a fictional character. And then we're not even going to talk about how the next gen for BTU has been trying to tell me their stories, since some of them were even conceived in the book. Like, I knew that they were going to be, but their parents weren't even pregnant with them yet, and they're trying to tell me their story. And I'm like, whoa, listen, bitch, slow your roll.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that you need to hit up in your writing. You know, surprise baby needs to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to talk it to you.
When you do, Allie, I want my name in the dedication. This is to Jasmine. She has been wanting a surprise baby.
It's not going to happen.
It is going to happen.
I'm just going to start killing people. That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to unalive them.
I'm really excited.
Now wait, this is a dark romance.
If she starts killing people, Jenny's going to throw a party. She's going to fly over from the pond, and she's going to be like, what?
To like kill people and I'm like, I don't write dark romance. And then she's like, I'm like, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm like, you're being a bad best friend right now.
Kill people off. Stabby, stabby.
For those who don't know, Allie does write rom-com, sports romance, like happy, heart-filled, fluffy,
Sassy.
some angst, and some very sassy characters. But yeah,
Yes.
dark romance has not been up her alley yet, even though I'm fine with that, if she does want to write that.
Sassy, sexy sports romance. I think that's what my logo is, I think.
So we can throw stabby in there and just get some blood and guts going.
You know, I love the alliteration. I'm all about that. Then I mean, I'd have appreciate in my logo if like Jason Clark would just be able to say it for me like every time, like you like click on it, because
Yes.
that word is not dirty at all, but I could hear that man say appreciate 24/7.
You just need a button, like that was easy button, but just
Yeah,
a
I was just gonna say the easy button, but it's the appreciate button.
Oh, can I have one of Joe Arden saying fuck? That's the way that man says
But
fuck.
that's at least like a naughtier word. Mine is the word appreciate. I don't know why, but
Well, I
every time
mean-
he says it, I'm like, ooh.
whatever gets your motor running, Allie.
Different strokes.
Works for
different
you,
folks.
honey. If that works for you.
Oh my god, Mark's gonna listen to this and he's gonna make so much fun of me. He's my biggest troll, my own husband.
That's okay. That's okay. Tell him I'm coming over. Buy the chips. We
But
got
I
this.
still have your Christmas present, so.
I'm gonna do it. It's happening.
All right, so Allie, how do you get your sports facts? Speaking of your husband.
From Mr. Alley and Google, even though Google was trying to fail me yesterday. I'm like, you're supposed to be like Magic 8 Ball. I asked you a question, you give me an answer. Like, come on. And it was very, very frustrating. But also, like, one of the things, again, he's going to listen to this and he's going to be like, this bitch is so full of shit. But, like, I like sports, sure, granted, I don't watch them as much as I used to. But, like, you know, we know them. I know it's not like, you know, a home run in football. I'm not one of those girls.
Oh, no.
Boys that are like that too. So. But yeah, no, because sports romance is my total jam to write, obviously, but to read, it's one of my favorites because it can span like all other tropes and stuff. So that's totally one of my biggest pet peeves. If like they don't get their sports facts right, like I'm like, come on, like you should hear the voice memos me and Rebecca Jenchek send to each other because we're like, no, the facts need to be right. We're like, it's gotta.
It's important.
I don't like when they. I don't mind when they take liberties. Like Al Kennedy does it in what's his name? Why can't I think of his first name? Whatever De Laurentiis' book is, the boy, not the sister. The sister's in Briarview. But like she even prefaces it like in the beginning of the book. She's like, I took some liberties with like the hockey schedule. She's like, because it works for the story. And I was like, I'm here for it. Just give me.
Yeah, exactly.
You give the disclaimer, you set those expectations. It's like, okay.
Yeah. But like when you tell me that like the starting pitcher pitched today and then he pitches tomorrow, and I'm like, oh honey, that's not how it works in baseball. And like, like when you get like basic Google, like when Google doesn't fail you, like and making you click on like 18 articles before you finally get your answer, like when like things that are Googleable, like get those right. I mean, granted, I have Mr. Alley to help me. Like, I'll ask him the most obscure thing, and if he doesn't know, he's like, "Why are you asking?" I was like, "Because that's what your purpose is. You're my sports encyclopedia." He goes,
"Sensitivity sports person."
Well, he goes, I don't know everything," and I'm like, "Says the man that can name every Super Bowl champion and MVP for all 50-something Super Bowls, like back to Super Bowl I." And then he goes, "Oh."
Till death do we part.
Yeah,
right.
He knows the most obscure sports facts and trivia and stuff. So when I ask him like actual like normal stuff, and he's like, I'm like, you're supposed to know everything. So this is your job.
You have one job.
No, he has to buy me chips too. 2 jobs and dishes. He does the dishes.
He does the dishes.
He has multiple jobs. He has multiple jobs.
So we know you enjoy sports, Allie. We know that. What's your favorite to watch?
Live, hands down, it's hockey. Hockey is the best sport live out of any sport, like especially if you're close to the boards and like you can. And I am the first person that when there's a fight, I'm jumping out of my seat. I'm like, fight. Like I'm like, hockey hands down is the best sport live. Football, I like it both like on TV and being there. I mean, in high school, Heather and we went to our football team was amazing. So like I was there every Friday night because I had no choice, but like because I was in the color guard. But like I love that. Baseball, I like it better live, but I'll watch it on TV. Basketball, I watch it with March Madness. That's the only time me and Mr. Alley will root for the same team as during March Madness. Otherwise, it's just all trash talk because we like all rivals of each other. And then the Olympics, I mean, come on. That's why Brianna and we were long distance sibling. I was watching Olympic hockey and then, addicted. I know all the obscure, like that's just,
That's your jam.
All things.
Towards the end.
As a person who went to her first live hockey game, I can agree with you. I've been to a lot of basketball games.
Mascot. Oh my God.
Hockey.
MJ Devil is my favorite of
He
any
was
professional
hilarious. Like, I loved when they put him on camera and he would dance.
You have to follow him on Instagram. He is my favorite social media follow. Like, he is hilarious. And I'm telling you, like, you were there. He is a black man. Underneath that suit, there's no way that's a white person in there because that man, and it's got to be a man. Just the way he moves his body, like it's just there's no like not even Channing Tatum can pull off his like rhythm. And if people are gonna come at me because I'm like the little blonde white girl, there is no way that it's not a black man in there because he's just got too much. He's amazing.
Jasmine's gonna die from laughing so hard. She can't breathe. Like, somebody call 911 and get them downstairs.
That's my theory for like well over a dozen years that there's no way it's a woman and there's no way it's a white person in there. There's just no way.
No, like, I'm so interested in knowing like who's under them.
I know. I'm like, can
got the hips.
I just want to hang out with NJ because he like there was like a few years ago he did like this awesome like April Fool's prank that like You can find it. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but like I saw it on his, like I've followed him for years on Instagram. He's my favorite social media follower because he does like all this really cool stuff, and I'm like, I just like maybe this will get out there, and I can get like I don't even want to. Granted, yeah, I'm sure I would totally fangirl like meeting like any of the devils, but like I just want to hang out with the mascot for a day because I want to write a mascot book. Like I want like my person to be the mascot. I've already set it up with Eddie the Yeti, so come on.
I came up with that name.
We needed a name.
Okay. So, what's your favorite trope or subgenre that you haven't written yet but would like to?
Oh, I don't
say RH
or dark.
Surprise baby.
Yeah. No. Well, you get off the baby train.
Never.
My
Never.
uterus is retired.
Not in your books, it's not.
H. We need all the D.
Well,
why choose? Give me all the D.
Well, Savvy was supposed to be at RH, and then she didn't listen. But I have a sort of idea for an RH that has like all sorts of other tropes, but I have no idea what the overall storyline would be. Just because. And then I watched the Olympics, and then it made it even worse because I was like,
tell me more.
No.
Tell me more.
No, because I'm not writing it anytime. I'm not no.
I told you I will come over and I'll sit on your couch. We'll have brunch with these people, and you can just write.
I love that you say that
right
like that's a threat. Oh yeah, Book, he'll be snoring.
He's my boy.
He is. He was looking out the window today like he was Rapunzel in her tower. And I'm like, go outside. It's 70 degrees out. Go outside.
So then what's your favorite trope to read?
Anything, like I like everything. Like I really... Like, I'll read anything, even if it's not romance, but, like, in romance, I pretty much read everything. Like, I was just telling Sarah Kate the other day, because I was arc reading her new book that comes out next month, and it's amazing. And you guys totally have to read it. Sarah Kate Praise, okay? It's amazing. And she wrote in, like, her back matter, because you know me, I read a book cover to cover, because I need to know all the things. And... she wrote that it was like being enveloped in a warm, kinky hug, and that's totally how I felt reading it. So it was like an age gap. It was an ex-boyfriend's dad.
Ooh.
So like normally that like I'm not a huge fan of that big of an age gap, but when I do read it, when it's like written well, they usually become some of my top favorite books. Like Penelope Douglas's Birthday Girl is like will forever be one of my all-time favorite books and stuff. Like I have it signed. I'm gonna fangirl all over her when we're at the signing in Boulder. Hopefully I don't get kicked out as a signing author because I'm gonna make a fool of myself, but it's fine. I mean, you guys saw me in Philly when I almost died, when Claire Tinsley hugged me, so
you were not the only one.
No, definitely not.
It was so good. Oh my god, the three of you will love it because I know what you guys like to read. So
Sarah Kate does age gaps so well, so I have arced for her.
That was my first book by her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I told her once I finished my Julia, finished catching up on her backlist. Sarah is my next binge after that.
She writes such good ones. I think that my favorite age gap. She did one with a priest that was. Ooh, that was spicy. But I think my favorite has to be 4 and 5, which she co-writes with Rachel Lee. Daddy Silas. That is all I'm going to say. That man can get it. And then you got his son and his stepson. There has never been a time where I'm like, Dad, son, yes. More. Like, they write age gaps so well that it makes me question, like, what else kind of kinky stuff am I into?
Yeah, no, it was so good. And Travis Wanderer's model is like on the cover, and the cover is just so hot. And it's just like the whole time I was reading it, all I was picturing was Travis, and it was just like, and Charlie, the heroine, I adored her from the first page, and like it was just so good.
So you'll be getting some voice memos from me because it's on my Kindle right now. So
it's a March book, right? Not a February book, because March.
Yeah, it's a March book. Yeah, she did her arcs like super early, so I read that. I needed.
That's what I'm talking about.
You say that like I don't give you guys mine really.
You
early.
do. Look,
We want to talk about
that's
arcs.
that's how it's done. Give it to me way early.
And my arc I'm currently reading is for Pippa, and it's freaking hilarious. But it's Pippa, so she's always
right, exactly.
really,
I cannot wait.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Like
Arcs.
the heroine's name is Begonia, and like she is amazing. Like
her newsletters have been killing me. Like,
oh my god,
I have been like dying laughing like at the
I
newsletters.
love her picture report. It's so good.
I like the swag that she sends
Oh
out.
my god, her book boxes, like the fact that like I read, which is it? The Grumpy
Player Next Door.
Yeah. Oh my god, they play like this card game, like that's based off the mascots for her baseball team, and in the book box, it came with the actual card game, and I was like, this is freaking amazing.
That's awesome.
The one that I got has the hockey puck in it, and I picked this thing up, and when I saw her at the signing in Philly, and I was like, you can kill somebody with this thing. Like, if someone breaks into my house, I am chucking it at their face.
She has a cardboard cutout of Beck, like, in his thruster boxer. She gave it away at the signing. I was like, oh, I want Beck.
Yeah, the person who took it, posted a picture in the group afterwards of them with that cutout in their shower. Like, it was a great photo.
She kept him in the shower. But I have my little Pippa unicorn.
Oh, okay, so the next person that has a man cut out in his boxers, I'm taking home and keeping it in my bathtub. I can only imagine what my husband's going to say about that. Be like, what the fuck is going on? Be like, look, this isn't your bathroom anymore. Go away. It's fine now.
What is your favorite trope to write, Allie?
It's not a trope, but one of my favorites is the banter. I need the sarcasm. I need that banter between the group of friends and between like the bros, like when the guys are like with their teammates or what, like the banter, dark, rom-com, whatever. I need the banter. So it's my favorite stuff to like parts of the story to read. So it's like my favorite stuff to write. So it's not a trope, but like it's, you know,
let's make it a
trope. While I'm writing, that's like my favorite stuff.
We could totally do that.
Yeah, I love that too. And especially in your books, I think it's just, I expect it, you know, like in each book. So when it's there, I'm like, oh, this is so comforting.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's when the train runs off the tracks because somehow it, like, granted, like when I do BTU and I write like a coven conversation, the whole point of those chapters is for it to squirrel brain. But when it happens in like the regular chapters, I'm like, way to not behave. I'm like, no. But none of them behave. Like every time I think that they're gonna kiss for the first time, I'm like, yeah, remember that? I'm like, yeah, 15,000 more words will happen before it actually happens.
You like to torture us like that.
I do. Well, it's funny because I've had to go back and like finish off like my Bibles of my old stuff, and I was like going through Sweet Victory. I was like, oh, I wrote a book that wasn't a swole bird. Like this shit, like is just fired from like. I'm like, oh, Vince, you. Oh, okay.
I just freaking love Vince.
Me
like
too.
What was for cookies?
Huh?
What was for cookies?
Yeah, like they didn't even know each other's names, and they were like dry humping against the oven. I was like, okay.
Yes.
All the health codes. I love it.
I'm here for it. Okay.
All about it.
Exactly.
It's so funny though. They'll send me like lines. I'm like, oh, what book is that from? And they're like, it's from yours. And I'm like, shut up. I didn't write that. I was
You write some good ones.
like, didn't this scene happen? I'm like, oh no, that's in the next book. I'm like, oops. And like,
Always
it's so funny when we're in our little like group chat, like me, Laura, and Julia. And Julia, she's not like a huge fan of like blowjob scenes. And I'm like, yeah, I don't write that many of them. And then like as I go through things, and I'm like, I wrote way more than that.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Lollipops.
Your tap out one is like infamous.
That's my favorite one. But that's because, you know, it also has a side of, you know, the boobies thrown in.
Exactly.
But that's because Rocky, I just love her. I love them all. Like, it was so funny when I was writing Savvy. I'm like, she might be my most badass heroine that I ever wrote. I was like, and I wrote the Coven, so
Yeah.
She is my favorite badass. My favorite. Like,
but they're
all
tough.
hands down.
I love them all. Like, I can't. Oh, okay. You want to talk about? You're asking me favorite. My least favorite stuff. I cannot have a doormat heroine.
Yeah.
Like, she has to have a backbone. Like, she's gotta stand up for herself somewhere and be like, totally be vulnerable. Let those men like cater to you and like, but
Yes.
you cannot, like, that's like my favorite thing of like Bully, like when like the guy is being the total like alpha hole, like dickhead to her, and like when she like stands up for herself in any time, you're just like, yes, like that's like,
Yes.
and it like creates that tension. That's my favorite. So like when the heroine's just like kind of like this doormat pushover, like to me, like in romance that I write or that I read, I need the heroine to be able to stand on her own as well. Like, I love me my book boyfriends, I love me my heroes, but like they both need to be strong and
No, totally. They need
girl
We
power.
were just
Go
talking about
go!
that.
I'll
Yeah.
pull up that
Yeah.
Spice Girl reference and really show my age.
We're not talking about those terrible numbers. God.
Whatever. My kids
start
told their
looking-
teacher that I was turning 56 when it was my birthday. I was like, yeah, I look fantastic for my age, don't I?
Oh my God. You were turning
Oh
56.
my God, he was like so common. Yeah, she's turned 56. I was like, what?
I'd be 2 feet into the grave if you were 56 at that
What
point.
is Mr. Alley
Jesus.
telling him?
I was like, what?
No. How to talk with that boy. You're like, the numbers go down, honey. They go down.
He loves
Mommy's age goes
Don't
down.
even start so high though. Like,
Right.
He was like,
Jeez.
Mommy's turning 56. I was like, what? I'm like, listen, I may never know how old I am. Like, I literally, there are times I have to ask Mark how old we are because I never, ever remember. But, like, I know I'm not 56.
No.
I at least know a
No.
decade in my
God,
age.
no. I am unprepared to be at that point in my life. Nope. Not even close.
I was like, whatever, I'll take it. Look how great I look for my age at 56. I'm like, ta-da!
Mom.com.
So,
So,
Allie,
do you have a spicy recommendation?
You mean my Sour Kate one wasn't good enough for you?
No, I want more.
What about like all time
Give me
favorites?
You
more.
have to narrow that down. Like when people, like I can give book recs like all day, every day, but like I need to know like what you're looking for. Like you got to give me like your tropes or whatever.
okay, what's a book, Allie, where it's like it's got a scene that lives like rent free in your head because it's so spicy. Like
Knock your pants
socks off.
You needed to like jump on Mark after reading this book.
Oh,
Maybe even while you were reading this book, have to pause it to go and jump Mark.
oh, there's a lot of them. That's not it. I read a lot of RH, so there's a
Yes.
lot
Well,
of them.
give them to us.
You read all the same books I read.
So we want to know which one.
That is good. I'm texting you guys, and I'm like, oh my God. This is why these are not good questions, Irving, because you guys get this in real time.
This is true.
What's the answer for the people that don't get this real time?
Them.
You're asking me questions like I know the answer to them on the fly. All your other people, you're like, let me give you the questions in advance. You're like, now we're your best
I
friends.
told you we dropped the ball, okay? So last weekend we were here, and then it was just like, boom, and we just watched that ball roll down the street. We didn't get to post our episode on the right day. That got posted today, which, by the way, if you guys want to go and listen, woohoo, go us. And then today, we forgot that we were actually talking to you until like 8 o'clock. So, but we didn't even remember we were talking to each other last week either. So we are doing big things. It's just kind of...
I've been celebrating my birthday all month, so I think like every weekend I've been drunk off mimosas. So
We know. We got the most perfect fan fucking test.
Already planning your next trip up here. She's gonna come down. We're gonna go to brunch. There's this killer brunch spot in Freehold that we can go. It's somewhere in Freehold. I went there once. I mean, I don't know if it's still there because this is all pre-pandemic. But it's Freehold. I'm sure it's still there. But I remember being slamming, and then we have.
Wait, is that the place with the shakes?
I don't remember. It was like in like this really fancy room in like.
Okay, that's not the place.
I don't know. Shakes. It was really nice. It was a really good time. The food was really good. I do remember that. And then I keep looking at my bookshelf trying to see if I can think of something. Book-wise. That's what I'm looking at. Like, I'm not just like staring. I mean, I do just stare up into space, but that's what my bookshelf is back behind me. And then she's never had Bubba Coo's burritos because I guess they don't have them up in Connecticut. And then, so we're going to get that for like our second meal. And
Fancy. Well, we're going to do 11sies. I'm so excited.
We're going to do what?
11sies.
I don't know what that is. That? I'm 56. I don't know these things.
It's from The Hobbit.
Okay, yeah, you lost us, Heather.
Oh, sweet Hobbit, and I don't remember.
Yes, where it goes breakfast.
But I don't remember.
Breakfast, 11sies, lunch, tea. Come on, am I the only fat kid that eats multiple times for breakfast and lunch?
Yeah, I just eat all day.
That's exactly it.
I usually
they have names, you know. When you have a full meal right after breakfast but before lunch, they call it 11sies.
I don't like to track how much I eat, though.
Well, I'm just give it to me. Give me all the food. Fat kid, right here. There's a 500-pound fat person living inside of me.
90-pound body, yeah.
Well, I gotta feed your fat kid.
See, this is why I didn't send, this is the professional answer. I didn't send Allie these questions ahead of time so we can get this live commentary.
You know.
It's a shit show with me. You see me do my old lives. I have Mark in there, and it's just him making fun of me the whole time and me laughing.
That's okay, though. Your laugh is epic. I look forward to those voice memos.
Me too.
Zuckerberg needs to come out with a thing where you can comment on a post with the little voice memo. So, like, I can. Yes. Do you know how many times it would just be my laugh?
That is like all you'll do, just like laugh.
Just to let you know, Brianna has a pretty epic laugh too because I have a whole bunch of them from this week when we've been doing group therapy.
You know what? Yeah, I got them too, and my what the fucks came out because I'm gonna make that TikTok where it's like, oh, that's not good. I feel the need to say fuck now because literally I'd ask a question and it would just laugh from both of you.
I didn't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah,
well, spoil me.
But Allie will not give you spoilers.
No, I don't believe in them.
Anti-spoiler sharing.
Do you know how many voice memos there were of me to her going, wait, you're not this. Yeah.
I was like,
you just need to tell me when you get to this part so then I can actually tell you what I'm thinking. Because, like, I couldn't even give her what I was thinking because it would give something away. So there were so many voice messages that were literally me just going, like I probably could find them on my phone and play them right now. That's how many of them there were. And then once she got to that part, I would flip her my voice memos that I sent to people that finished reading before I did, so she could really fully appreciate my emotions at that moment to go hand in hand with her emotions at that moment.
I think I dropped the fuck bomb for probably 20 minutes straight. Like, it was just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Why the fuck did he do this? What happened? Like, no, fuck this and fuck that.
Yeah, it was the most emotional I've been in a while reading. So.
Don't trigger me.
Now, stop that.
Dude,
this is a happy cave.
Earlier.
This is a happy cave.
So, Allie, what's the spiciest book that you wrote?
See, I feel like I can't make that determination because
we already did for you. It's okay.
Yeah, we all talked about it.
I would guess. I have a few because there's a few that could probably. I know my least spicy is Power Play because it was the beginning.
But it was so much cute tension.
Listen. Jake and Jordan. Jake and Jordan they're my OGs. I
They made
love
up
them,
for it.
but I just kind of pretend that.
You know what's funny
that's
though?
okay.
I feel like throughout the next books, I feel like they even have more spice mentioned.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They're always getting it on there, and they're always like freaking out her brothers and like
She's
talking
always
about their
pregnant.
sex, and it's awesome because I just love them.
Yeah.
I can't wait to torture their children with their active sex life. So
Those better be some spicy ass books for the children. I mean, not right now because they're underage.
I have some
But-
ideas. I've had a few that like I've been like toying around like that. I'm like, ooh, this trope could really work. One of them, hands down, for sure, is going to be an enemies to lovers because that's my crack.
Yes.
I could read enemies to lovers all day, every day, and be a happy person.
That's
Savvy, Kay and Mace when they first meet, like that. I just love, like especially like when in reading, especially. Oh my god, how many times am I going to say the word especially? But like when like
Is that like appreciation?
when it's like when the hero like is trying to except I don't say it sexy like Jason Clark says appreciation. But like when it's the hero becomes like a little bit like more even when they're not all in, but when like the hero is the one doing a little bit more of the pursuing and it's the heroine that's like like demon spawn, like Kate and Mace, like in you object like that dynamic. Because you guys interviewed Maya Hughes. She did that with one of the Fulton U books, like which one? I can't remember. Not the first. The
is it the second or the third?
It's the second or the third one. They're the neighbors across. It's the second one because the third one is the baker. So the second one, they hate each other. They live across the street and stuff, and that like that dynamic.
He calls the cops on him. All that. Yeah.
Yes. Like. Like that's what I like. So like that's
right
why.
there.
So like the sexual tension in like Savvy's duet is like
off the charts.
Dude, he was fingering her before they ever had their first kiss. Like it was just
I was thinking, I was like, they are not even.
and not just like he did it. He like had his fingers all up inside her, and then after he kissed her, no, like I waited till the very end of the book for them to actually have their first kiss.
That was like the last thing they did after everything else. Now we're gonna kiss.
But
That scene, it was so good though.
like the second
That was the one.
And I look for their tension. So what do you guys think was my spiciest book?
So that was the one that we had voted on. That was your spiciest.
Now
like
I pushed Right and Dirty right up under there though, because like that hot tub scene.
No.
When I see Right and Dirty,
Well, yes,
I think that hot tub
better,
scene.
man.
So that's why, like,
I love him with every fiber of my being.
I mean,
I would be just making babies with
if
Dex
you're
all
talking
day.
about the amount of sexy scenes, Playing for Keeps is probably the spiciest, but it was the third book in a trilogy, so they were an established couple for the whole book. So I had way more to play around with because, again, we lead into I typically love the slow burn because I love the tension and I love you guys, especially our dear friend Rochelle, who hates slow burns, and she arc reads for me, and I'm like, that's pretty much all I write. So here you go.
You get
I'll write
stabby.
something, and every time that like I draw out the tension, like while writing, I'll be like on the computer like this, and I'll find a way to like postpone something, and I'm like, Rochelle is gonna yell at me. Like those are the literal words that come out of my mouth, like when I write it. I'm like,
There was a night where I was beta reading.
really creepy laugh too. I'm like,
I was beta reading, and you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna have them kiss now," and I'm like, "Get the fuck out! No, you're not. Didn't kiss for like another 30 chapters. Like, what happened?"
well, like then I found a way for them to not kiss, and I was like, yes.
I bet you everyone is wondering now, like, what is in our cups? And it's like, this is a normal conversation.
Oh, mine's
Exactly.
just water.
I don't even have a cup.
I mean,
look,
it's vodka,
this isn't water. It's vodka in our cup.
No, tequila. Lose all your inhibitions. And whiskey, we get shit done with that. Come on.
Mine is good old H2O, like
Oh, I
Bobby
got
Boucher, you know.
I got nothing. Okay. So, What are you currently working on?
Nothing. I'm retired. I haven't written since
That is a
November.
lie. Shut your face.
I'm
That is
retired.
a lie.
I keep saying
Her
it.
bullshit. She's not.
Nobody believes me. I keep saying I'm retired. All of my author friends that are like in our group chat, I keep saying it. Like Julia's like, I'm gonna forcibly drag her out of retirement. I need somebody to write with me until 3 a.m. I'm like, yeah, but I've been enjoying sleep. Except then the Olympics came, and then I just wasn't sleeping, so it's fine.
Lies, all lies. You're not retired.
No.
We don't allow that.
I was writing something, and now I'm shelving it. So when I do decide to write, I'm going to work on the next BTU book because that's supposed to come out in September. So we're going to, we're going to attempt to be unbroken and unretire. We'll see what happens. But I'm here for it. I have like an 8-minute long voice memo of my sorta ideas for it. I sent it to Brianna, and she's like sending me all these comments back, and I'm like, I haven't listened to it since I recorded it on February 2nd, so I don't really remember anything that's in it. So she's like commenting, and I'm like, I don't know what I said there, so sure.
But I was like, drop the mic moments.
Jasmine left. Where'd she go?
Oh, sweet Jesus. So we got dogs barking. We got Jasmine poofing out of existence. We got big things going. She didn't understand the assignment. She doesn't like to show up to work.
Thanos got her.
She doesn't like to show up to work. Okay. Well, we're going to keep on moving because we have learned the hard way that if we stop it, bad shit happens.
Oh.
Bree will have to go and fix some shit.
It's all right.
We'll see.
Where's here? This can be Jasmine. We'll Photoshop her. Hi, I'm Jasmine.
Oh, goodness.
Which is funny because like only the people that watch it on YouTube will know that I'm holding up this little unicorn, and anybody listening are like, "What the hell is she doing?"
Yeah. What is she?
Or I can use my AirPods case. It could be Stitch.
Hey!
Because I'm just a grown-ass child. Mentally,
There's
I'm a
nothing wrong with
13-year-old
that.
boy, so.
But you're 56. You're 56.
Yes, I may be 50. People are literally going to think I'm 56 years old.
You are not.
Not
You
with
are
that
not
voice.
older than you.
Like you can tell somebody's age for a good amount of time based on their voice. And you don't sound like a 56-year-old.
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay, so let's go back. And Jasmine lost power, so we don't know if she's going to make it back on here, but we will see what happens. So, what is your favorite thing to do when you're not writing?
Like, what are you doing now?
I'm talking
She's
to
sitting in the
you
basement.
guys.
No, I meant because you're not writing.
Read, but I read all the time. I tell Mark all the time, he doesn't want to know me. If I wasn't reading a book or listening to a book at some point in my existence, people wouldn't want to know me.
That is not true. That is not true.
Oh no, I would not be.
8 million people have hugged you from the signing.
I would not want to. I would not be a happy Alley. I like books. I like to talk about books. Oh, look who's coming back.
Hey,
Quick, stop talking about her. We can't talk about Jasmine anymore.
we don't talk about Jasmine. No.
I swear, like, me and technology are just like mortal enemies. Like, every time it's always me. I'm like, I got everything charged up today. My connection should be good. And then the power just blinks out. Like, I literally cannot catch a break.
I don't think you like to show up to work.
You can't sit with us. We're pink.
We don't talk about Jasmine. No. Oh,
You good, Jazz?
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I'm like,
it's all good. We were talking about what Allie likes to work on when she's not writing. And she said she talks to us. And she's retired again.
this is true.
Yeah, I'm retired. It's
This is
fantastic. Where's my private island that I can just go like lay in a hammock on and drink a frozen drink?
We need a
That's
writer's retreat.
You know, I'm for that.
I am here. I am here for it.
We should definitely plan a trip where we go to like an island.
Well,
or
you guys didn't want to come to Boulder with us.
Oh yeah,
Which we
we
need
have
to
to book our
tickets for.
flight. By the way, you're
We're
supposed
gonna
to
do
talk
that.
to your mom.
We're going to do that.
Because I may be 56, but we're totally going to your mom for advice.
We are. I need her for all of my flight planning activities because she gets all of the craziest deals. So, okay. So then how did you get into the romance book community, and did you always want to be an author?
No. So I've always been a reader, like for forever. When I wrote Power Play, I never planned on publishing it. I mean, it took me like 10 years to write it because I wasn't writing it to like write it to publish. And then Maria Lewis is the one that actually convinced me to do the whole self-publishing thing. And then like that became like an active decision. But at first, like writing that wasn't the plan. And now 2.5 years later, here I am. You guys talking to me about my books. Weird.
It's not weird. It's not weird. I loved your first book. I remember exactly where I was when you sent it to me, and you taught me how to actually get documents through my Kindle from Amazon because I had no idea how to do any of that. I was sitting in the Kohl's parking lot, and I told Chris we couldn't drive anywhere because I needed to download this book so I could start it. So it was fantastic, and I think that the growth that you have had as an author, it's just been phenomenal.
I was actually at your house the day I upload Power Play to Amazon.
Oh. My house is famous, guys. Hey,
whose birthday's in June? That's whoever's.
That's Wyatt's birthday.
So we were at. Oh, that was the birthday party where your kid got a lap dance from my kid in.
That's right. They are now betrothed. If anybody needs to know,
they were 2.
Whatever. They were babies, but it's okay. We have videos for that. I'm totally playing it at a wedding in like the next 18 years.
That would be
my God.
So epic.
Inspiration.
Teacher conferences today, and the little man, he tells me every day how he's going to marry Alexia from his class, and she's the cutest. Oh my God, she's the cutest little girl. And they were telling us today how they play together every day. They work in the house area, they build their blocks, and they hold hands. Like the romance author in me is like, yes, please be my Sean.
This is a story,
like Sean and Carly. So like in 20 years when you guys are at your wedding, the romance author in me can just talk about how your love bloomed in preschool.
Aww.
She's so like, oh my God, she's so cute. And her brother is in Mac's class, so like we're just like all connected. It's just
that's
like
adorable.
He came home one day and he goes, "Mommy, teach me Spanish." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Alexia speaks Spanish. Teach me Spanish." I was like, "But Mommy doesn't." So I taught him like a word in Italian, and he goes to school the next day and he tells Alexia he knows how to speak Spanish. And I'm talking to Alexia's mom, and she's telling me how she was telling her that Colton speaks Italian. I was like, no. I taught him a word. He does not speak Italian like how Alexia speaks Spanish.
That is so funny.
Like he told me the other day they were going to have a play date, and then they were going to have a sleepover or slumber party for 2 nights. And I was like, yeah, no.
I mean,
He goes into school, he flashes his dimples, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh my God.
His favorite pickup line is, "Who your name?" Not even grammatically correct, but that's like he'll go up to girls and he'll be like, "Who your name?"
That's like how
you know
doing?
That's going in a book at some point. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to do like a single dad romance or something, and their little kid is gonna like pick up the chick by going, "Who your name?"
Little Joey action right there.
Love that little man. So
yeah, he's your biggest fan. He talks about.
He is my biggest fan. I love him. I will bring him donuts every day.
Yeah, he goes, "My Heather," and I was like, "She's not your Heather. She's my Heather."
Yeah, I'm Allie's Heather. I will be his Heather too. It's okay. So, last question. And if you tell me you're retired, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna kick you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
get your keys ready.
What is the hardest part of authoring for you?
I think I'm getting shushed right now. I was waiting for it. I think it varies day by day. I definitely, if I didn't have like people like you guys or like my fellow like author group chats that I'm in, like to have like my own tribe, it would definitely be way harder because
Mm-hmm.
it is like people say all the time, it's like a lonely business because it's supposed to be you and a page, you writing whatever. So I guess my hardest part is the squirrels.
The distraction.
I don't know.
And those animals.
That is so
I don't know.
funny.
I procreated too much, so I have a lot of things that
That was the plan, though.
it was. But I still don't want
Procreated because you procreated. So wait a minute.
Oh, shh. Lies. That's okay.
Scarlett is the only reason that I had a second.
Oh, it's
She was
okay.
the one that
Mackenzie
inspired
told
me.
me to have another baby because she wants me to have another belly lump. And I was like, it's a bump, not a lump. They had on Tuesday. Tuesday was 2-2 Tuesday because it was 2-2-2-2-2 on a Tuesday. So they had to write where they would be in 20 years. And the picture of herself was her. I was like, is this a baby lump? And she's like, yeah. And then her job was that she was going to be a chef. And then her family, only Mark is there. I was
Oh my god.
I was like, where am I? She goes, oh, just daddy.
Like, you would be like 76.
56 now. You're going to be dead. Don't make it.
Oh my god.
And her hobby in 20 years is playing hide and seek. Like, it was a picture of her, like, behind her hands. And then her house had a red front door, just like our house
Oh my god.
I feel
That's
like,
epic.
even though, Allie, we did ask you about your books, I feel like we never actually did like a quick rundown of your books. But for everyone who's listening, the
yes.
BTU,
For the people who
right,
don't know.
the BTU alumni series, it has 6 books at this point right now.
6.5 because there's a novella in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's sports
The boys.
romance of every sort. You have hockey, MMA.
You got siblings, best friend,
Football.
military.
Yeah.
I got all the tropes. Brother's best friend,
Mhm.
best friend's little
Yeah.
sister, military, bodyguard, rock star, MM, romance author, football. I guess my overall theme, a lot of found family is like
Yes.
the main theme,
Yeah.
like the big squad goal type of thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
Mhm.
Then we have the
Yeah.
UJ series, which is 4 books as of right now. The first 3 are like the first 3 for a couple.
Mason K.
Yep, Mason and Kay. That's football and competitive cheerleading.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's sort of like miscommunication, enemies to lovers, player, like very, very
Second chance, there's all sorts of tropes of there.
Liam Parker and Big Bubba's bitch.
cliffhangers.
Well, that was the first time
Right.
and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Allie's always writing cliffhangers." I'm like, I've written more books that ended a happily ever after than ended a cliffhanger.
Right.
Your
But what
cliffhangers
I
are
always
brutal.
say about your cliffhangers is that at least I'm not waiting months or a year. Like you did them, even though you kicked me off the cliff. You didn't leave me hanging too long. You
Well,
know.
I don't.
It's like take a machete and just like, pow!
I don't release them until so I can do them rapidly.
I honestly wish everybody did it that way. I literally say that. I wish everybody did their clips like Allie. Like,
I can't take if everybody did their
first
clips like Alex.
and then release it.
If everybody did their clips like Allie, I think that like I'd have to remove my heart as an organ and just put it in like a jar. I'd be like Brie, because Brie doesn't cry. Like, but there are just some things where it's like, oh, you just left her on the floor to die by herself. Like, there's no more pages. Like, what happened to the rest of the story?
Well,
Like,
I did
Like,
get
Jake's
yelled
been
at
poof,
the
gone.
other day by Penelope Black because we were binging each other at the same time. I binged read all 6 of her books in 6 days, and then she first she did Savvy, and then she went back, she started U of J, and she told me, and I would never be able to read this, like, she doesn't leave, she has her percentage turned off when she reads on her Kindle, so she never knows how much of a book she has left, and I was like, I can't handle that, I need to know, like, I need to mentally, so she was like, it ended, and she was like, what the hell?
Where the fuck is the rest of my book?
I feel like we're scaring people. Currently, there are no books left with a cliffhanger.
No, everything's out.
Yeah,
read
they're
it.
all out. But then we have Off the Bench, which is the fourth. That's the most recent release of Alley's, and oh my gosh, it's like Forced Proximity, Friends to Lovers.
It has the nerdy hero who is, oh my
It's
god.
tropes reversed because it's jock nerd, but the girl's a jock, and it's love coach, but it's the girl that's the love coach, and may have wanted to smack him while writing it, but she was one of my most fun heroines to write. I loved her, and and like my sensitivity reader for her was somebody that was actually, her half American, half Mexican, second generation, to the point where, like, when I would ask her things to make sure, like, I would send her chapters, and I'm like, tell me where I have my Spanish if it's correct, where her thoughts would flip-flop from being, like, when she would curse to herself in English, when she would curse to herself in Spanish, and there were times that she'd be like, hold on, I have to ask my mom, because I'd be like, do you have, like, I was like, in Italian, we have, like, this word for, like, when we're, like, thinking in, like, slang for stuff. I was like, do you guys have a word like that? And she's like, hold on, let me ask my mom.
Yeah. I have questions.
That's so funny.
It was a really good thing that she lives in California, so, like, the 3-hour time difference, when I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning, it wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning for her, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And we have the Royalty Crew duet. And oh my god, those books. That's also cliffhanger because it's a duet, but those are out. Savvy and Noble. Savage Queen and Ruthless Noble. Like, all the angst, there are, like, bully vibes. She doesn't let there be a bully.
Sexual tension.
Yep. And it's like, Alley says it's not dark. There's, like, a darkish undertone. Like, Homeboy has, like, a little bit of a kink. I'm gonna call it out.
I love his kink.
Me too.
Yes. I was here
Well,
for
my sensitivity reader for Savvy, she's like, for one of his kinks, she was like, yeah. And I'm like, that's not my intention, but sure. If you say so.
It worked. It worked so well.
I was like, it was just him.
That's
just to let you know, this is way longer than a half an hour, I told you.
Yeah.
We were trying to be good.
Yeah. Keyword trying.
Yeah.
I saw this happening from
Oh, yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
It's all good. So you guys have any other questions? Do you have anything to ask us?
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to know about you either. Okay. Love you.
Because I wasn't, like, texting you guys an hour before this when we were all forgetting that we were even going to. Sure.
I know. It happens. It happens. Well, I think that was it, guys. If you haven't read any of Alley's books, we did just go through all of them. We highly suggest, highly recommend. If I could give you 1.5 million stars, I would. And I'm not just saying that because she is my best friend in real life and book life. I will hands down recommend Writing Dirty till the day I die. You can't have him, he's mine, but I will let you read him.
My favorite is Vince from Sweet Victory. I will risk being cut by Katie for him. Any day, every day.
For violence.
Well, that's like literally the dedication is that he's hers and that, and she would cut
I know,
anyway.
and that's why I always say that. I'm like, Katie, you can cut me for him.
You can cut me.
For him.
Well, that's why, like, because I gave Jenny Mason, and my biggest threat to her when I was reading Julia's Soft Like Thunder, and I've never claimed a heroine the way that I've claimed Hells, and Jenny was trying to like get in there because we both beta read and trying to steal her, and I literally opened up my vellum document and I started deleting that she owned Mason. I was like, so that was like, so you like, I put that in my review for the book. I was like, if you know me, the fact that I threatened to take Mason over away from Jenny, you should know how serious of a threat that is.
Oh my,
that's aggressive.
Bree, what's your favorite?
probably I would say the duet, Savvy and Noble, and like both books. I'll take the both books.
Oh, now she's getting greedy.
Well, no, when it's something like that though, like that one is the
Then
whole.
can I have another Dex book?
No.
Nice. Action coming through.
Bree's like, only I can have two.
Listen, this is our couple here, not yours.
Okay, well, look, you can have the power of anal then.
I feel
Well,
like,
I mean,
like, what is going on during this?
If you know, you know. If you don't know, read the
To be
Savage
fair-
Ruthless Noble and you will know.
To be fair, Savvy and Jasper have their own cameo in Writing Dirty, which inspires Dex certain proclivities. So
Love
Yep.
him.
That is very
they're
true.
who break Dex.
He's so perfect and okay.
Before I edited that scene and changed it and made it even more tensiony for Savvy and Jasper, it's kind of tame, the version of it that's like the tiny little snippet in Writing Dirty.
Yes.
It's so funny. But I think that's everything. I mean,
I think so too.
yeah, this was a very long one, but it was also much fun. So
Definitely. It's always fun. We will definitely do it again because you're not retiring. We refuse to believe that. But again, if you haven't read
You still got a baby book to give me, okay? I'm not taking no for an answer. Like,
I'm gonna be on my deathbed and Jasmine's gonna be like sliding my laptop like across her and me going, "Give me a secret, baby."
just give me the summary.
All right, ladies. It was so much fun, and we will talk to you next time.
Adios.
Thanks. Bye.